What is going on, fellow dropouts, and welcome back to the show. You have Andy and Cole as your two hosts tonight. As always, how's it going, Cole?
Good, Andy. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. What'd you do today?
I worked.
Oh, nice.
But then
what that's like.
No, I worked and then went to the gym, got me some Chipotle.
Nice.
And
the
then,
best of post-workout foods.
And then I started and finished the newest episode of She-Hulk.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm watching it, but I'm watching it.
Well, let's take a break from She-Hulk to talk about. We're doing The Gray Man for this episode.
Oh.
We weren't sure. We were going to do it a while ago, and we ended up not doing it. We did some other movie instead. I think it was RRR, actually. I think we did instead.
Yeah, that's what actually happened instead.
Here we are 4 episodes later, and we're doing The Gray.
Yeah, we are a little late to the party.
We are, but
it came out a little. I think it came out like a month ago, so we are a little late.
That's okay. Better late than never, they say. But before we get into The Gray Man, let us shout out our newest Instagram followers.
Yes, let me pull that up. All right.
The latest additions to the Dropout Squad.
All right. So we got someone named Clown Core Uzi.
No way. Do you know what clowncore is?
No. What is clowncore?
It's a style of music. I'm going to play it for you afterwards.
Really? It's a style of music? Yeah. Oh my god. No, I'm not even joking. That's her account. And okay, I'm seeing cool. I'm seeing the clown stuff going on. Okay. Interesting.
That's rad. Shout out you, man.
Clowncore's thanks for joining. And then we had another one. Let's see. Another one. Ron Gudot.
Oh, I know Ron. Ron's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, that's really
Ron
cool.
Gudot. He's a pilot. He flies for American Airlines.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, he's
awesome.
A really, really good friend of mine. Shout out Ron. Miss you, man. Love you.
So that's all that we have on Instagram, but we did have a lot on YouTube recently.
Oh, okay.
I would need to pull that up real quick.
Okay, I can do that.
You can do that? Okay. Yeah, but I thought I saw a bunch of subscribers.
Oh, Clown Core Uzi's on YouTube too.
Oh, did they follow us on YouTube?
Yes.
Oh,
and
awesome.
Then we have Sen Eshasis Mitra. Senahasis Mitra.
That was good. That was good pronounced.
Thank you. So that's 2. Perna Gishing. Thank you for following us or subscribing, I guess. Subscribing. Yeah. So that's 5. Shout out those guys. Love you guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Woo! Dropout Squad. Okay. Let's talk about The Gray Man.
Okay. So
Netflix movie, exclusive to Netflix.
Netflix movie came out like a month ago. What's interesting is that I saw this. The first time I heard about this movie was in the theaters, actually. I saw a trailer for it in the theaters.
Did they advertise it in theaters?
Yeah, they did. I thought it was going to come out. And when I first saw the trailer, I was like, this looks bad. And then I noticed it wasn't anywhere to be found in theaters. I'm like, okay, that's odd. So it must have been bad because they didn't put it in theaters.
It.
Yeah, but then it shows up on Netflix and it's like Netflix's newest thing. You know how they advertise the shit out of Stranger Things and all that?
Yeah.
Well, that was on the top of what's hot this week and what's trending.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, maybe it's just a Netflix thing.
Why did you think... I never saw a trailer for this movie. Why did you think it was bad based on the trailer?
Oh, the trailer was so cliche. It just screamed cliche action movie, and it was just very bland. The characters didn't have any character to them in the trailer. They were just all saying typical action movie one-liners every 5 seconds, and it didn't look interesting or it looked like a decent action movie, but it looked like, you're cheapo action movie. So I was just like,
Cheapo.
it didn't look that good to me. I was just like, nah. But
Okay.
I figured you mentioned we should review it like a month ago, and I was actually down because it's new, and
A lot
even though
of people were talking about this movie.
yeah, so I was down, even though the trailer didn't look that good. But are we doing smash or trash for
We
like
are gonna smash or trash, smash or pass.
smash or pass?
But yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
You count us down this time.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Smash.
Pass.
Really?
What?
I
Really?
like this movie, dude.
What? No way. Oh my God. You're unexpecting.
You never know. I'm a loose cannon.
No,
Yeah, man, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
okay, so I should clarify smash or pass is kind of like a little harsh because I'm saying pass because I don't think it's a good movie, but I also don't think it's like a terrible movie. I actually think the concept is really interesting, and I think the action scenes are insane, and I think that the ending really picks up, it picks up in the third act. So when I say pass, like, I just kind of mean like I wouldn't like go out of my way to watch this or watch it again, but it does have a lot of good qualities, and that's probably what you were gonna say. Like, I'm guessing you thought the action was crazy and the story was good, right? Like, you like that? Or?
The main reason I like this movie is because of Ana de Armas, bro. She's delicious.
Wait. Oh, the Bond girl.
The blonde girl.
The Bond girl. I don't remember her name. I just know her from like Knives Out and Bond.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Anyways. No, I thought the story was okay. I thought it was simple. I thought the film was actually decent. I didn't think that there were any like glaring issues with the story. I think the action was okay. I don't think it was like as good as Bullet Train, for example. I think that that's a much better action movie that came out this year. But
I just think
you gave Bullet Train a very high score, and so I don't know. I think it's fair to say that this is also like a good movie. So it smashes in my book.
I don't know, dude. Like, it was just really like the dialogue was really kind of like something I would have wrote in high school. I feel like you gotta go get the bad guys, and I'm just like, And then there was just like all these lines. I can't remember all these lines, but there was just so many where I'm like, that just kind of seems. It just didn't feel like really well written stuff. It just kind of felt like, a typical action movie kind of stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would. I mean, yeah, the dialogue and like the content of the dialogue is very like stereotypical, like not even action movie, more of just like kind of government spy, like the verbiage, right, and like the kind of stuff that they were saying was just like very like you could pull it straight out of a Bond movie or something like that, or like a Mission Impossible.
And they even mentioned Bond. Like at one point when he
007 was taking the name.
Like at one point when he mentioned that, like I was kind of like, I don't know, I feel like they're referencing something so much better.
Yeah. What I appreciated about this movie, I'll start with the story. What I appreciated about this, as opposed to something like Bullet Train, the story in this is very simple. Mm-hmm. This movie knows it's an action movie through and through, and it doesn't try to be anything else, right? Bullet Train, I feel like it tries to tackle a little bit more in terms of its tone, in terms of its genre at times than this movie does. But this movie knows it's action. It really sticks to that lane. And that's true also with the story. It's a very simple, like bad guy wants something, good guy has it.
Yeah.
Like that's really just what it is. Whereas Bullet Train sets up like this whole complex interwoven web of destiny thing that really only unfolds in the last like 10 minutes. But this, it's just like, it sets it up right away and then you just are along for the ride. It's a very just like simple structure that you can really latch onto and just enjoy. So in terms of like it being just a pure action movie, I think it was right to do that. And I think the Russo brothers did this movie and they're like fantastic filmmakers, historically. And so I think their writing was very efficient, and I think it was just like
To
I
what
said,
it
really,
is, yeah.
yeah, really easy to latch onto. They didn't waste any time explaining a whole bunch of random exposition with stuff because it's not needed. You just have like this guy who's part of a very special, like task force within the government, within the CIA, that ends up getting some like potentially very bad information for the government, and he just runs away with it, and the guys just try to get it back. And so yeah, it's just very simple, and I appreciated it for that reason. But the other thing that I really loved about this movie was Ryan Gosling. I thought he was I don't feel like I've seen him in a lot of these movies, which I know he was in like 2049, which I didn't see. And he's in a couple of like other ones, like other more serious movies, but he was fantastic in this.
And I guess we can kind of just jump onto the character, because it's basically just all about him if you think about it. Like you're just watching him like the entire time, and but like, so him as a character, he was really interesting, but at the same time, like he just kind of felt like a mannequin. He didn't really have like a lot of traits to him, and you could say like that's the point. You can go down that route and be like, oh, that's the point of this movie, I guess. But like, with action movies, like I'll just use the two most common, like James Bond and Mission Impossible, like you said. In Mission Impossible, like Ethan Hunt has so much character to him. He's like the entire third movie is literally just about him. It's not even mostly about the mission. It's more about him because his wife gets stolen, and it's very personal. And James Bond is literally all about that. Like, every mission is different, and it gets really personal towards him. He has so much character traits. Like he has like, shaken not stirred line, or he's like witty and stuff like that. But to me, Ryan Gosling's character I found was only interesting just based upon how he can get out of situations. And that's it. Like that was the only thing I was like really drawn to with him. Like every time something happened, I'm like, okay, how is he going to get out of this one? But besides that, he just felt really bland. I was just like, there's not much character here. He just feels like a mannequin walking through the action scenes. And then once he gets in trouble, he gets out of it. And I mean, that's interesting.
Right. I think that makes sense though, because I mean, this guy was, I forget the name that they have for this group of people basically that the government is utilizing. There's like a name for their specific group. But basically they were just like criminals, and they bought a ticket out of jail to just be government pawns, essentially is what they are.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense that he doesn't have a lot of personality, because he's been working for the government for like however long, right? Like 20 years potentially, where he doesn't have a name, he doesn't have a history. He's just a blank slate. So, I mean, kind of his function as a human being for the past however long has been to be a mannequin, to be just like the most, bland and unrecognizable and untraceable human being on the planet. And so I think that makes sense. And like I said, I appreciate, that this movie knows it's an action movie. It's 2 hours long, and it doesn't set up like this crazy thing that it hopes to make a franchise or anything like that. It's just, it's just like a one-time good action movie. And that reflects in the character being simple. And I don't know if I'd call him like one-dimensional. I don't know if he's like flat, because there's some really interesting stuff that he does with like caring for the girl and caring for his previous boss who's no longer working, but he cares more for him, and he has like a loyalty to him and not necessarily for the government. So I think the title of it being the gray man, like I like that he operates a lot in the gray despite being such a black and white character, if that makes sense.
So, and I realized like that was like kind of the character moment for him, was like the girl and his old like recruiter. But the problem for me is like, it doesn't feel like he is caring for her until like the very end, because as soon as he finds out she's been captured, he doesn't really do anything to like step into that direction. He kind of just gets captured himself and like just goes through the motions. Like at one point, Chris Evans has him at gunpoint, and he's just still trying to run. If Chris Evans, if that girl didn't like stop Chris Evans, then he wouldn't have ended up towards the to the daughter, So like he kind of just got pushed and happened to get near the daughter. It wasn't like he was driving for it. If at least in my opinion, like that's another reason why like it worked towards the end, because at the end, he's got that history with her and he wants to protect her. But at the beginning and the middle, he's not really like trying to go save her. He's just kind of like, oh shit. And then he's just getting in all this trouble. Like he gets captured and, Chris Evans is after him. So like I said, it worked at the end because it was nice too when like he goes home and rescues her and he's like, oh, can I chew gum in here? Like, that worked. That works because, you saw that earlier, but I don't know. It didn't feel as like, satisfying because he kind of just like happened to, get into it.
Right.
Whereas at the beginning, does that make sense? Because not only does he feel like a mannequin, but he doesn't really seem to go after or show that he cares about the girl until way later, it seems like.
That's fair.
Like I would say I started really loving the movie when they were in Prague. That was like some of the best action I've seen in a long time. And like then everything from there was just so fun because he cares about the girl, he cares about his recruiter, and they go from Prague to that what is that place in like London or something? I don't know the ending.
Croatia?
I don't know. It was just like this giant mansion, but it was so fun. And at the end there when he fights Chris Evans, it means something because like he's protecting her and he like gives her a wink. He's like, "Hey, I'll be fine." I don't know. I just felt more connected towards that. Whereas before it was just kind of like he was going through the motions, I felt like. Because like the other thing too is like when he kills this guy in the beginning, he takes the piece and he has really no reason to. He just takes it and then that girl tells him, the guy tells him like, "Hey, don't trust, these guys."
Yeah.
And it just kind of spirals off. Where he goes into this direction of like hiding it and stuff like that. So I don't know. It felt like he was kind of just out for himself in a little bit. And then later he started caring more for people. I don't know. That was just my opinion.
Yeah, that's valid. What did you think of Chris Evans?
Dude, he was also kind of iffy. I couldn't get behind him as a villain.
I did not believe him at all.
It was kind of cringe.
I did not believe it. Yeah.
That was another problem I had too, was like, I just couldn't see it. And I don't know. That's all I really have to say about him. He didn't really like, he wasn't like as threatening. The guy, what's the guy's, the like whole recruiter guy, like, what's his real name? Like the black guy.
Oh, that's a good question.
What was his, because he was more of a threatening villain than Chris Evans was. And I know that's like the entire point, but like, I can't remember his name.
His name in the movie is Carmichael.
That's it. Okay, yeah, I liked him more than Chris Evans.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Chris Evans, I just like, I don't know, it's weird. He was supposed to be this like super manic, like crazy, unleashed, like wild card, and I didn't buy it with him. And I don't know if it's because we've seen him so much as like a good guy with the MCU, or if we just like know in real life he's like a decent, like nice person, or if it's like his delivery. I just don't know. I just didn't buy it. Every time he was like acting crazy, I was like, Chris Evans, like that's not
no.
real.
Yeah, no. It also the way he dressed too. He just looked way too clean. Like he looked like a fashion designer. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
He looked like he got home from work as a fashion designer, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna be bad today. his look didn't like buy it either to me.
No, I don't know. For me, it was mainly his performance, and especially like considering throughout most of the movie, I was just saying, I was like, man, Ryan Gosling is like really great in this role, and then just like the start, like the strict contrast with Chris Evans, just. I don't know, because they have him saying like quippy little fun lines too, and I'm just like, I don't know, like this it doesn't feel like it makes sense for this guy who's just like super crazy, Yeah,
dude. So what do you think of like the concept though of this movie? Because you said it's just like an easy to follow action movie, but like I really think this concept is unique and really interesting. I mean, the idea that a guy gets hired because he's a criminal, but then he gets hired by the government, and then he starts to, not trust them, and gets hunted down by them. I thought that was really interesting because, like, typically in movies, when the main character is tracking down someone, they usually that's the villain or some kind of antagonist. And right out of the gate, the movie kind of like brought me in with like this twist, like, oh, he killed someone, but that guy was kind of like helping
I agree with
him.
you. Typically in these kind of like movies, that's like a twist at the end. It's like the person that was working with me is the one that has been out to get me all along, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I forget which one, but one of the Mission Impossibles was like that, or maybe the Mission Impossible franchise in general. That's like every single movie, but yeah, I thought it was really interesting that right off the bat, that was the setup. And so it was like these guys that were, and I like the idea of Anna's character. I don't know what her name is in the movie, but I like the idea of her being caught in the middle because she like still works for them and she doesn't know if she should side with Six yet. And so she's kind of just like, she's kind of like there waiting for someone to like prove her who's right most of the time. So yeah, I like that idea. And it just kicked, like I said, it was just very efficient. It just like kicked it right off. Like the mission that he was introduced as, like as a character in the movie, is the mission that he then goes on to just like get completely I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No, I know what you're trying to say. It's definitely
it's different. Like the first scene of the movie, it like sets up that the people, like the actual villains are the government,
Yeah.
So I did that. Yeah, you're right in saying that that's probably a little bit unique, and it probably was just like, hey, we have this idea of like this twist thing that all action movies do, but what if we just make that the premise from the start? Like, how much better could it be?
And the movie really grabbed me from that. Like, I was interested. I think what started. Okay, so at the very beginning, when he's being interrogated by that recruiter, I was kind of thrown off by the dialogue. I was like, okay, this kind of seems weird, but I will praise the movie for like immediately kind of like grabbing me with the whole idea of like the twist being in the front.
Yeah.
And then, I also really liked the idea that this necklace had like some chip with information on it. I thought that was really fun. Yeah. And then again, just the whole idea of him being on the run now. And then like this creepy government guy is hiring this other guy to go kill this guy that was hired by this guy. It just, there's so many things going on and I like it, but I was watching this with Kira and I was telling her like, this movie to me just feels like there's so much more potential, I guess. I think
that I think they purposely like voided that.
I don't know, dude. I
think that they checked that at the door when they realized what this movie was going to be.
I just don't know. Because I found myself really loving it at the end, but just the whole middle, it was kind of boring a little bit and just didn't feel. It just felt bland. I don't know why. It just, to me, like all the characters just kind of said like bad dialogue, and it was just kind of just going through the motions for me. And like I said, it picked up a lot when in Prague when he was like hooked to the bench, and I was really interested. But from there, man, like I don't know. When the movie was over, I was like, man, I wish this movie was just just structured better. Like I just wish it was put together better, I guess what I'm trying to say. Because to me, it just missed the mark on a few things, but it had this amazing concept and story and action. So I don't know. That's just kind of what I thought about the whole thing. Yeah. But man, the action.
You think the concept's amazing?
Dude, I love the concept. It was so cool.
I think conceptually this is just so simple, and I think that that's why you feel like it's lackluster.
Simple is what works.
Exactly, and that's why I think that this movie is actually quite decent, is because I think that they stuck to what is simple. Because like imagine all those other action movies and apply that to this one, where you try to give him some convoluted past, and you try to give Chris Evans' character some convoluted past and how they grew up together in the streets of Brazil or whatever. And
is this a reference to Bullet Train?
And then Anna's character comes in and she's slept with both of them at different periods of their life. And the chip is actually the countdown key to launch the missile in Bulgaria that launches a nuke across the United States. Like that's typically what these action movies do. And it just becomes, because they try to do too much, it just becomes bad.
So
like they can't do those things well in a 2 hour, time frame or a 90-page script. Like they can't just fit all of that detail and exposition in there seamlessly. I actually feel like this was like a very lean script in terms of like the story. I feel like it was just like very bare bones, and it was like pretty efficient in terms of the story and the structure. So I don't think it was structured poorly at all.
Well, I shouldn't use the word structure. I mean, like, I guess what I mean is like it just didn't have a lot of character to it. So like you mentioned, like, a typical action movie where like everything blows up in the end. That's kind of how the Mission Impossible movies actually go.
Yeah.
But the difference is like those movies are so fun to watch because it just has so much more life to it. Like the dialogue is better. The characterization is better. Like I feel like this movie, if the Mission Impossible has a big bomb's gonna go off in Bulgaria. Yeah, I get that. That's kind of like what Mission Impossible is. But like it's just more fun to watch because these characters are more interesting and the dialogue is more believable. And I don't know. I just wish this movie took the premise, like did really good with what you're saying. Like, yeah, it's a simple idea. It's different from these other action movies, but it doesn't have that like vibe or that character. It
doesn't have the vibe.
That's just me.
Doesn't pass the vibe. Vibe check. Let's get a vibe check on this movie. Fails.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, it's just simple. It just is. And I think that's why you feel like the dialogue is bad, is because there's not like a lot of depth to it. It's all just like very surface level dialogue.
Yeah,
there's no deeper subtext to it. They're not implying other stuff. None of these guys really have any deep history, and so there's not really anything to write more deeply about in their dialogue. It's just kind of,
I don't know. I don't think you need to have like deep history and all that. I just think having them work together, like interact together better, and what they say to each other just be more fluent and interesting than just did you get the criminals or something. I remember at one point he's like, go get those criminals or something, and I'm just like, I could have wrote this. Like, and I don't know, man, like the chemistry between everyone at least in the beginning just felt really like dull. Like everyone was just like talking to each other, like
yeah.
I don't know. There was just no I guess that's the word I should use. There was no chemistry. Like in Mission Impossible, everyone has chemistry. It has that typical, bomb exploding at the end kind of plot, but at least it was really interesting to watch. Like, and everything flowed together, and there was chemistry, and it was funny. But I didn't get any of that, in my opinion, until the end. Like when they get in Prague, because when they're in Prague, dude, like, the girl comes in, she like saves him, and like, there's visual cues where he's like, hey, over here, and it was just fun. And then like the guys like, take her and, like save my daughter, and it was just really it was really emotional. And I guess I just like more stuff like that, where it just feels more real. It doesn't feel like a bland bunch of mannequins doing things together. It feels like real people, like Mission Impossible. I keep using Mission Impossible, but it's a good point.
Yeah, that's fair. I do feel like some of the other deliveries with the characters just weren't great. I think Ryan Gosling, I think maybe he stood out so much because the other guys were just kind of like pretty lackluster in terms of their performance.
Yeah,
maybe that's why. And to your point, like until the third act, he's mostly by himself. You know what I mean? So there's not a lot of interesting stuff to build off of, because he's just kind of like, he's running away from people. You know what I mean?
And he's just quiet. But I mean, I guess that's just
is quiet. Yeah,
that's just the problem that's going to happen with this kind of movie. Which, I mean, can that be worked around? Maybe you can give your character more like character, even though like, I don't know.
I don't know. I did really enjoy him.
I mean, I liked it. I just didn't think it was. I don't know. I said pass because it was just really hard to get through at the beginning, and then I really liked the ending.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can see that. So it's just like a little basic action movie, huh?
Pretty much. That came out a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but let me just talk about the action because I really liked the action.
The action.
Just like I said, there was so much in this movie too. Like this movie had so much action, and it was good choreographed action. I'm surprised you didn't like it as much as I did because I thought it was so fun.
Action.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. I will tell you what I hate. Freaking bro. Okay. Was it Ambulance? What's the movie that?
Ambulance. I didn't see that, but
what's that director's name? I can't. It's slipping my mind. The guy that did Transformers. What's that actor's name?
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Yes, bro. He in that movie Ambulance. He decided to start using POV drones for drone shots and doing all these cool like shots. And now freaking every movie ever is gonna start doing that.
Did it do that in this film?
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah. All those drone shots where they're like...
Oh, I was wondering. Okay, that's another thing I really liked was like the...
no, bro. I feel like...
I liked that. It was so different.
I feel like an Ambulance... No, because if you see how it's done in Ambulance, it makes like a lot of sense. And it's actually like... It like helps in that movie.
Was Ambulance good?
It just... I didn't see it. I just saw like a bunch of information and I saw a bunch of videos about why he chose to do that. And like you know what POV drones are, right?
Yeah.
And why he started using that for drone shots, I was like, oh, that's really cool. Because they're like that whole movie's like a car chase. And so they're like flying the drones like with the cars and it really works. This one just feels so out of place, bro. Like they're doing establishing shots of like a calm city and the drone's just like I'm just like, dude, what? It's like sideways.
Sideways. See, I thought that was really interesting, actually.
I thought it was dumb.
I didn't see that. I've never seen that before. So I was like, oh, this is different.
Yeah, but and like I said, it's cool in context. Like in Ambulance, it works. But I feel like that's what happens, bro. It's like there's like a new way to do something that's never been done before, and everyone's just like, oh, we'll do that, and it just like doesn't work as well. I wish if they had just actually pick their moments with it, like if they were doing it in that car chase scene in Prague, like with the train, and like that was the only time you kind of saw it, I'd be like, oh, that's a really good implementation of that.
That's
but
fair.
the freaking establishing shots just being like these like sidewinding like skidding drone shots, and it's like I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, I liked it because it adds character to the overall film. Like it, I don't know. To me, like sections of the movie are shot that way, and that's just kind of like a reoccurring thing that happens in this movie, and I really liked that. Was there anything else that you hated about this movie? Because you said you've been praising it.
I think that was the biggest pet peeve. I don't know if I hated anything else in the movie besides maybe Chris Evans as that character.
Okay, so you really like this? Interesting.
Like, what's the in Skyfall, right? IMDb.
IMDb.
I forget. I always forget this poor actor's name. He's the same guy in No Country for Old Men.
Okay, which actor in No Country for Old Men? Which one? The main character. Yes. What's his name?
Sugar.
Yeah, he was in. I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Same guy from Skyfall. Mm-hmm. Like if he was in this role, I would buy that shit up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Javier Bardem is his name. But yeah, if he was like playing that, I'd be like, okay, this dude's scary. But Chris Evans kind of just like being kind of a caricature of a villain. Caricature. You always make fun of me for using that word.
I thought you were saying it wrong. Caricature?
Caricature. You know what a caricature is?
No, what is? I thought you were saying
like
character.
Caricature. It's like those drawings that they make that like they like overemphasize your features.
What? I thought you were just saying character wrong.
Caricature.
Now I feel like a dick.
No, do you know what I'm talking about though? Where they have like huge heads and then like whatever features you have, they just like make them extreme.
No, is it? What do they use this for? Like where?
for fun, I guess. I don't know. They draw them for you.
Oh, like when you sit down at like in public and they draw you or something. Like that. Like you have like a big head. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So when you say something's like a caricature of something else, it's like almost a parody of it.
Oh.
But not as like blatant as a parody.
Okay. I see what you're saying now.
Okay.
See, that's something you can make fun of me.
Yeah. So I don't know. He felt like, but anyways, that other actor would be great. They should have cast him.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. And it would have worked too, because like his whole thing was that he was like the best of the best. And see, there's another like a couple of cringy dialogue, like where he's like cupcake or something like that. Like it just didn't work.
He's cringy. Like that character, They wrote him cringy. I don't know if they knew that Chris Evans would be playing him before they wrote it. So like, I don't know if they wrote it for Chris Evans, but it was, I don't know. It just felt too silly.
Yeah. And I guess that was another bunch of dialogue that I didn't like, was just like Chris Evans dialogue.
Just Chris Evans, we love you. Okay, we love you.
Come on the show. Come on the.
No, even if you don't, we love you. I just don't think that this role was right for you, and that's obviously not your fault. That's casting's fault. But I don't know. I don't think it was.
But no, it would have been really cool, because like if that character was played by like what you said, that guy from Skyfall, and he was established as this like badass that can get the job done, but then doesn't get the job done, like that will work. But Chris Evans is not really threatening, and so you don't really buy that he gets the job done anyway. So when he doesn't get the job done, it's just kind of silly.
Yeah. Silly.
That's just silly.
Those were the two things that I just didn't. I don't know. I thought the movie failed in those two areas: drone shots and
that's
Lloyd's casting decision.
That's honestly interesting, dude. You surprise me sometimes. Like I thought you were gonna love Prey, and I thought you were gonna not like this movie, and you were completely different on both.
I hated Prey, and I thought this movie was fine.
See, I loved Prey, and I thought this movie was
boring.
Good. Okay. This was good. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that is very interesting. I really wish we had. For the next episode that we do, I'm gonna like go back and see what I gave a score for each movie that we reviewed, because now I feel like I'm just lost. I think I know what I want to give this movie, but I'm not sure. Because what if I gave another movie like the same score, and everyone's gonna be like, "You like that one way more than this one, you nerd."
You nerd. Well, what is your score?
I think my score is a 7.
Okay, that's fair. I would give it like a 6.
Well, actually, I take that back, because I think I gave Prey a 7, didn't I? What did I gave a movie recently a 7. I don't remember what it was.
I think you gave Bullet Train a 7.5.
Okay, then I'll give this a 7. That's fine.
Dude, I honestly think it's like a 6 or...
Oh, a 6!
Or higher, as like a 6.5. I don't know, dude. It was just not...
I could see the argument for a 6.5, but that's low, dude. I don't even think we gave like Thor Love and Thunder that low of a score.
We liked Thor Love and Thunder.
It was okay. It's like the same thing.
The same thing.
That was
Thor
too funny. This is too boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a character that you've seen in like 20 other movies.
That's true, but you can still go bland after. Like, you could lose the character if you just, milk him to death.
And some people think that they've lost Thor. So there you go.
I guess, yeah, that's true. He's too funny now. I guess you could say that too. But
yep.
Okay,
Ryan Gosling is too boring now.
6 to 6.5. I'll just say that. Somewhere around there.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. Right. Do you have memes?
Okay.
Or is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
Memes.
Memes.
Memes. Do I have memes? I don't think I do. I keep forgetting, dude. I just watched some movies, and I'm like so focused on it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to find something funny. I don't think I do. Do you have anything like theory time, or do you have?
I can find facts. You want to do fact or cap?
Yeah, we can do factor cap.
Fact or cap.
You don't have theory time though, or what was the other? You also do what?
Yeah. Well, we do theory time together, kind of.
But what was the one that you did? You did something else.
Yeah, fun fact or cap. Fun facts.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll do that then.
I'll do that then. Thanks for rewarding me that.
You're welcome.
Okay. Speaking of Chris Evans, here's our first factor cap question.
Okay.
Chris Evans originally was considered for the lead role, so to play 6, but he declined it so that he could play the villain.
Cap.
It's fact.
Dang.
So he turned it down because he wanted to be the villain.
Okay. You know what? Now I can see that now because that's why he sucked. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Chris, we love you.
You were directed poorly.
No, Russo brothers, we love you.
I'm kidding. I'm gonna get killed.
The Marvel fanboy himself says that he hates the Russo brothers. Okay. So Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans were encouraged to improvise their lines. And so their entire first meeting on screen was entirely improvised.
Fact.
That is fact.
Interesting.
So
that's cool.
Interesting that you found the dialogue bad because it was just them talking.
That might be why. There you go.
It's just improv. Okay. Okay. On Chris Evans' first day of filming, Ryan Gosling actually hit him in the face on accident.
Cap.
It is cap. Why did you think it's cap?
I don't know. I just think, Chris Evans has been Captain America forever. And like, you tell me he didn't accidentally hit someone in the face. So like, I just don't think he would do that at this point. Like make a mistake like that, you know?
No, I said Ryan Gosling hit Chris Evans in the face.
Well, I still got it right.
Yeah, but except the answer is Chris Evans hit Ryan Gosling.
Oh my.
Bruh. That's ironic. Biggest twist in cinema history was right now.
What's right now? What about guys? Cricket.
Okay. Brad Pitt was attached as the lead, and James Gray was set to direct the project since 2011. Do you know who James Gray is?
No.
Let me tell you some things that he's worked on.
I'm gonna say.
Well, hang on.
Okay.
He did Ad Astra.
Okay.
With Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Did you see that movie?
No, I've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
So anyways, Brad Pitt as the lead, James Gray was set to direct. And since 2011, sorry.
I'll say fact because scripts take forever.
It is fact.
Okay, cool.
Christopher McQuarrie was set to direct Charles E. Theron until that iteration. What I don't care. Whatever. Okay, that is factor. What a terrible segment.
I did good. I got a bunch right.
You got one.
No, I got like 3 right. I got a bunch right.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, what's next?
I don't know. Do you have any theories?
No, No. No, I don't.
Oh, I have a theory.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Okay. Theory time. What
Theory time.
happened to Six's brother?
Six's brother.
Yeah. Because remember how they flashed back and he was like, my dad and my brother.
Oh, yeah.
And so I killed my dad to save my brother. I'm your brother.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? If they made like a second one.
Maybe 4 was his brother.
Oh my God. I have a theory. Well, I don't have a theory, but I have another complaint.
My God.
That kind of becomes a theory.
Okay.
Let me just answer your thing real quick. I have no idea.
Okay, what's your theory?
No, so another complaint I had about the movie is well, this kind of becomes. Oh, what was that? This kind of turns into a theory because it's like, what the heck? So the villains of the movie don't even like they're just forgotten about. Like the movie just like decides not to focus on them at the end. Like they're like going down this hallway looking for Six, and there's no satisfying payoff. Like they don't get in trouble, nothing happens. It kind of feels like they just forgot about them, and like it's open for like a sequel. But like the villains never get punished in this. They just like open the corridors and like, oh, where is he? And I'm like, oh, okay, what's gonna happen to the villains? Nothing. The movie just doesn't answer that, and I'm just like, what?
Well, they're like the top people, so who's gonna punish them? The president?
I mean, no, but you would think that like
Daddy Trump's gonna just come down the elevator and be like, you let him get away.
I mean, something like you would think they would get in trouble, like some bad action was going to happen to them because they failed. Like the hero won, the villain failed. Like the movie just felt like they forgot about them. Like they're like, okay, they're gone. Bye. They've been used.
Well, it was the end of the movie.
I know, but I'm saying like they didn't have like an ending. They didn't have like a payoff.
That's true.
They were just like literally there was a scene with them going down the hallway. And you didn't know what was going to happen to him next, and the movie cuts away, and I'm like, okay,
maybe they will do a sequel. Maybe it'll be called The Black Man.
No,
I'm serious. Then the third one will be The White Man.
No, I'm like, are we gonna like wrap up their storyline, or they just walk down a hallway and that's the last time we see the villains?
No, that was it.
Bullshit. Just kidding.
I'm ready for The Black Man.
Yeah, me too. That'd be a good movie.
It's like a crossover between The Black Phone and The Gray Man.
Yeah, that'd be a good movie.
The Gray Phone.
The Black Man. Coming soon. The White Man. God. So stupid.
That would never get greenlit these days.
Yeah.
It would just be about Adolf Hitler.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that one of the Russo brothers was in this movie at the end? He was the one that was giving them all a talking to at the end.
No, I didn't know that. That's a fun fact.
Do you know what I'm talking about? When they were sitting at the table, like the Carmichael, Anna's character, and then the other lady, they were sitting there getting talked to by that guy.
I'll have to watch it again, that scene. I don't remember it.
But do you know what I'm talking about? It was like right before they went to go check the hallway.
No.
Bruh.
I didn't pay attention to that guy. No.
It's only the director.
It's only the director.
Okay, well.
Well, there's the Gray Man.
There's the Gray Man. Perhaps our shortest episode.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't know. I kind of speaks for itself, you know. Like it
is just kind of like a meh movie.
That's why, yeah, I mean, it's literally in the title, Gray.
But I think if you like action movies, you'd like this movie. I think if you're looking for more from films, you'll be bored and disappointed.
I don't know. I don't know. I just expect it to at least have more, just flow well, have more chemistry. Like a movie is supposed to have chemistry. So I don't know. Yeah, if you just want like a action movie that's just like action in your face and just kind of like, you can just put it on in the background and just enjoy action. So, what? I'm serious.
Just enjoy action.
It's true. It's just an action movie, and it's a bland action movie.
Oh, hot take. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but before you say well, I want to tell the fans about
the dropouts
about next week because I'm excited to talk about it. So we are going to be reviewing next week Barbarian. It is a new horror movie, and I'm excited to talk about it. So I'll just say that. But
you probably liked it.
No, I'm not gonna tell you anything.
He said no.
No, but I just want to
you either really liked it or you freaking thought it was trash. There's no in between because you wouldn't be excited to talk about. You weren't excited to talk about this movie.
You read between the lines.
Okay. Well, Dropout Squad. Thanks for joining us on this week of the
school
dropouts. All right. Well, yes. Tune in next week for The Barbarian.
Really excited.
I haven't seen it yet, so
go watch it.
It's been your boys. It's been Andy
and Cole.
No, you gotta say it. It's been Cole.
And it's been Cole.
Well, let me start over. It's been Andy.
And it's been Cole.
And it's been real. Okay. We love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.